Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 8 of Bottom Line. As you can see behind me, we got the freighter that we weren't really happy with that much. So we got that freighter, and then on the other side we have our hauler. I already forgot the name again, hauler J or something. Anyway, the plan today is to combine that ship with that ship. We're gonna get rid of almost the whole front section, and we're gonna connect the hauler, the J hauler, to the rear section of the freighter. Now I'm gonna try to get this a very focused building session, and we're gonna try to make it so that everything is done in sessions. I don't want to be showing every block being welded up, but yeah, that's gonna be the plan for today. So before we can do any work on that, we're going to have to fly it outside of the safe zone. We're going to be using the jackdaw to clean up some stuff. What I will want to do as well is grind a few blocks down that I do not know yet. By the way, you might also have noticed something. If you look at the toolbar, my battery is blanked out. My reactor, if I check reactors are gone as well. So somehow the mod has reset a few of the blocks I normally can build. So I'm gonna go into creative mode, and I'm not gonna do it here. I'm gonna go in creative mode. I'm gonna drop 2 small grid versions of it, so I just can grind them down and get them back as my blueprints. But yeah, there seems to be an issue with that mod where you are losing progression over time. I'm not sure what the cause is, but I will have to keep an eye on that if I wanna, you know, keep working with the blueprints I actually unlocked in the past. Alright, let's fly this one out. And then we're gonna fly the blue hauler there. Hull Frame C, that's the name of it. Hull Frame C. Right, so this is one. And then we're gonna have to grind down. Do I have control seats? No. So I have to grind this down manually. Cryo chamber we have. Toilets we have. Sink. Let me see. Sink. We have the sink. We have a toilet, so we don't need to grind anything down. Do we have trophy lights? We don't have trophy light. Can I grind this trophy light down? There we go. Hull pressure lost. That's okay. Control seat. There we go. Survival kit we have. Yes. The rest I think we have. Alright, let's bring the hull frame in as well. So I'm gonna fly this one close by. Like that, and then we can get our jackdaw out. Alright, before I start grinding down this whole ship, let's go a little bit closer to the reactor down there, so I can grind it down and store it already straight into the ship. What I should do is make this a fixed grid. And for converter station. So as I said, let's just do creative mode, and we're gonna drop in a small battery. And we're also going to drop in a small reactor. And we're going to grind these down. Is my inventory empty? It is pretty much empty now. So I can grind it down and then just delete this. Alright, and then we can just drop this off. I don't know if there's like a hotkey you could like just drop stuff out of your inventory. Alright, there we go. Now I should be able to grind this down, and that should all become just nothing. So let me check my inventory. Yeah, so we don't have anything in our inventory. Alright, so I didn't gain anything from it, I just unlocked the blueprint. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna start grinding this down. We're gonna put this in a time lapse, and I'll see you once I'm done with that. I got a feeling I'm gonna have to fly back and forth to my hull frame several times just to get rid of the inventory. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, that's it. Everything gone. Let's connect our jackdaw again. Then we're gonna line up the blue ship with the yellow ship so we have a bit of an idea how it looks. And then we can start working on the connections and the expansions. A little bit too far. These side thrusters definitely don't have enough to maneuver quickly. Alright, and then we can go down a little bit. And I think let's keep it at this distance for the moment. There we go. So, what's the plan right now? We want to connect this ship, the blue one, to the yellow one. And we want to get rid of that to start with. So we're going to connect this to this. Now you can see that this one is not going to fit. We're going to have to put it here. Another thing is that the container is down here, which means the connection is right here with the gyroscopes is. So this is where going to be the connection for the car container. And the blocks are going to be here. So if I have you, and we're gonna make the color differently. I already made a little bit, been playing around with the color I want. I think I'm gonna go for this yellow orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to start with, I think. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see. Another thing, and I'm already getting distracted again. All right, so what we're gonna do, we want to have a space for a third jump drive here. So there's going to be 2 blocks space. This, we're going to move forward. So we can keep the same design, but we're just going to move that design forward 2 blocks. And we're going to have to do the same with the hull. So this is going to have to extend 2 blocks. And this is going to have to extend 2 blocks. So that everything is just moving or extending a little bit further. I was considering extending this as well over it, but I think we're going to leave it as it is. Another thing I want to do is I want to move this container here, this container, and we're going to place it straight against this instead. So this is going to become a conveyor. And then we're going to have our container against this spot here. All right. But that I'm going to do all off recording. I'm just going to extend this whole section forward so we can have a second jump or third jump drive in there. And also a car container ready to then transfer everything from that ship into that. And then we can extend from that. Because I'm going to remove this car container in there. All right. So let's get started. All right. Here we are. So everything has been extended right now for the extra jump drive and also the cargo container. You can see we have a spot down there for an extra jump drive once we want to build it. Everything has extended here. We have also extended this whole platform, and we now have our container here with already the pieces ready to connect to there. Anything else? I also have started with putting some pipeline in here just to cover up this opening that has been extended as well. We have been doing some work on the inside as well here. As you can see, this has extended as well. So now we have the car container a little bit further. We got 2 extra reactors right here. And we got 2 extra batteries ready as well for whenever we want to weld that up. So that should give us 3 reactors and 6 batteries plus the ones in my other ship. So that should really boost the performance of my jump drive. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to see how far we want to connect this. I think we want to add maybe 1 more block to this and then connect to here. So my plan is to actually transfer everything over from... Let's see. Could we do that? Not yet. Thing is, if I connect this there, then I will have 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks spare if I connect it to that ship. I think 4 blocks should be enough for adding extra. I want to have assemblers. I want to have refineries. I want to have extra hydrogen engines. So I think that might work. 1, 2, 3. I think the hydrogen S2 and 2. Let's add 1 more block here. Like that. And let's then connect the ship to that. All right. I think that should work. Now we're going to have to get rid of this beacon, which I cannot put anything away. Everything is a little bit stuck here. Can I reach anything here? No. Because I think if I'm going to try to connect, I'm going to bump my beacon against the car container.
Energy low.
Yes, I am. All right. Let me just recharge and then we can take out the beacon. All right. Can I put 2 weld plates down here? Let's see. Do I have the weld plates nearby? I don't. So, weld plate. I'm going to put 1 there and we're going to put 1 there. That should be normally okay. All right. So let's connect the ship together so that we have one grid. Let's try to line this up as good as possible. I think that should be pretty okay. There we go. Connected. Nice. Alright, so now the ship has been perfectly connected. What we're going to do, we're going to take away that gyro inside there. And we are going to start transferring over everything from one container to the other. Alright, with everything moved over now, we can now just grind away this one here.
Inventory full.
And move it all in here. There we go. So now the centerpiece can be completely filled up with whatever we need. Okay, meteors are fine, I think. So what I was thinking is, if we build an assembler against here, and we make sure that the connectors are left and right, and then on that we can put our refineries like this, left and right. So these are connected. Then we could put another assembler here. Like that. And then we can conveyor these up again. Maybe let's just do conveyors. So we are sure we have all directions. Like that. And then we should be able to connect this through. Like that. So that would be a completely layout for the conveyor line. Conveyor to our thruster and our tanks and to our ship in the back. And I should have space to build the hydrogen engines on here as well. Let me start with welding this up and then see what we have left to build in. Alright. Alright, with this now all lined up, we can put two hydrogen engines here. And I don't think I have them. I didn't learn them yet, so let's grind down the one in the ship. Let's grind you down. And drop it inside here, because I won't have enough inventory. This is gonna interrupt the pipeline here, so we might have to do some adjustments so we can use the air vent and the connection of the ship again. But now we should be able to build these engines on top of here. Do I build two engines just in the center instead? Could we do that? If I go here and I say engine. We have a conveyor like that, so I could do this and this. Because I think I want to keep following that frame of the ship. At least try to follow it. I don't have any power cells. Okay, I think one of the power cells is still in front of the cargo. That's okay. Alright. So that's gonna be my engines, and then we can put some steel plate blocks in here, perhaps. Because that is gonna keep following the line of the cargo container, kind of. Or we... This is gonna be too long though, if I keep following the same thing. What we could do is do 1, 2, 3, and then put another one of those in there. I might actually make these gray in the center. Just to have a bit of a through line here. Alright, so that's kind of the layout of the ship. We got two refiners, we got two assemblers, we got two hydrogen engines in there. Then we need to work on the bottom as well a little bit. Make sure that this looks okay. Here, we could try to follow the same pattern, or we could give it something more detailed. We got a few spaces spare here. We could fill up with whatever we need. We could put batteries in here. We could put extra reactors in here. We could put more hydrogen engines on the bottom, but I don't think that's a good idea. You know what we need is an O2 generator. Do we have O2 generators in here? Honestly, I think we have enough with one assembler, and we take that assembler away. Alright, And let's put a O2 generator down here. Let's take the fancy one. Like that. It has a port on that side. It has a port on that side. Like this. That's gonna give it a bit more detail on the bottom as well. And then we put some batteries there and there. I think we're just gonna finish off with some interior blocks. This is not the strongest block, so it is definitely easy to destroy. I just want to give the ship a little bit of detail. As I said, this is not going to be a combat ship anyway. And then there should be a block that has a similar shape. Do we do this or do we do this? Or do we do this? Or do we do this? This might be better. I don't know. Well, we might be doing some extra work later. I don't know if I'm happy with just having these blocks so freely visible. On the other hand, this ship is never going to be really in battle. And then after that, I think I'm going to have to take some time and painting everything. I'm probably going to build the spray paint, which is a mod that's going to allow me to spray individual blocks, but with more precision. Alright, this doesn't look too bad like that, no? I guess we no longer have any more raw resources now, because everything has been refined. So now everything is in ingots instead of raw iron, which is okay. I think we got some money from raw iron on the planet, but I think the magnesium, for example, sold for way more when it was actual refined already. So what I'm thinking of doing is, this is the vent, this is the Willis duct. Is putting a vent, if I have a vent in my list. I do. Take this one. And we're gonna point it in that direction. There we go. And then we're gonna open this up with a Willis duct. There we go. And then we find the one with the vent in. There we go. And here we can put a conveyor. Because no matter how I do this, this is still not connected here now. I don't think there... Is there a conveyor down there? What we might have to do is put a conveyor there. Otherwise, I won't be able to just pass it through and keep this open. So, let's see. 9. Alright, so now the vent is passing through the conveyor line. And now we can close this all off with some interior blocks here. So what we could do here, or even here... I'm thinking about putting our... let's see... Probably here. I think that's the best spot to put it. Let's put our gravity generator here. I'm going to put it in such a way with the connector to the right that we can access it when needed. Let's set this to 3. We don't need it to be that heavy. We just needed something to pull us back, not really be the same as a planet. We need to also adjust the dimensions, which we can do later. I'm thinking about putting a food processor here, but I don't think we learned the food processor yet. So we're gonna have to wait until we can place it here. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I could cook some meat or something in case, you never know. There's no really a farm on here. We already have a bed here, no? We have a bed, we have a toilet, so we don't need another bed. I'm not entirely sure what we could put in the back there, but that's okay. I'm no longer going to work with it to pressurize on and off. We're going to change these lights so they no longer blink. And we're going to give them this mild bright color. Like I would say this. And then we can copy everything with name. And we can do the same here. So everything looks nice and bright. We no longer have this red blinking light. Alright. The next thing I want to do here is we're going to put the door here. Do we do the window one? Like that? Yeah, let's do the window one. The reason I'm doing this is so that we can just... If I open the doors, the only room that's going to be depressurized is going to be this room. And in here... We're gonna take away this armory and we're gonna replace that with a what do you call it? A refill station. So we just need a pipe like that. And then we need a refill station. And then this has to become a T. Can I do anything here? No, I need to do this. There we go. And that way, now if I close the door, we are gonna be pressurized. Without any issues. Yes. And then I can close this door. And I just open that door and we lose a little bit of our oxygen. But everything inside is still pressurized. And I can quickly refill my energy and my hydrogen from here without having to go into the ship. This is going to go quicker as well. That's perfect. Alright. Alright, this is good. I think we have a good start. So, let's check what we have on the outside. What do we still need to do here? We need to fill up these. I don't think I have enough power cells. I think I can make power cells. Let me see. Can I make a few power cells? Production. And let's make like 5 to start with. There we go. And what we're probably gonna do, can I make this the same color? Do we have a bit of a gray line in the middle there? I think that's not bad at all. Alright. Then the final thing we need to do is the bottom. Finish that up. I got a feeling we need to change these to actually fit the shape of that cargo container. We do this and then we go from that to... where are you? Do that. I think that is gonna be a better solution. in here, I'm going to put 2 blocks, and we can later, once we unlock modules, because I have not unlocked any speed modules. So for now, let's just put a block in here that can serve as something interesting. And then we can always put a module in there later. There we go. That's much better. Here, I think what we should do instead maybe then is bring this over to here. Like that. And then we do a full block like that and like that. I think that is okay for now. We can always come across better ideas in the future, but for the moment, I think that's okay. Alright, not bad. I'm not 100% happy with it, but we need to move on. I need to get some stuff done. So inside here, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put 2 doors as well. We're also gonna change this light. There we go. We're gonna put 2 doors here and here. Alright, so now we got everything closed in here. I'm not gonna make this an airtight area because I think there might be some gaps here and there because of the pipelines, but that's okay. We don't need airtightness here. I'm gonna leave these as it is. We're gonna fly into the safe zone and then just repair the ship with this and see how much it costs me. But I think we are as good as done, like shape-wise. Alright. Looking at this, I think we have done everything we should do to the shape. Now, another thing I should double check for is how is our power and how is our hydrogen. Do I need to refill? Let's see. We're at 72%, so I think we should be pretty fine. We got 1 day of power, which is not that much considering, because the batteries are completely empty. But I think the next thing we're going to have to do here is color the ship now in the same color. So we want to go for that yellow that I just applied and the white from the blue ship. So it's going to be white plastic. We have to apply this on the whole ship. So that is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do this off recording again, and I will see you when I'm done with that. Alright, guys, I think we done it. I think everything has been painted now in the correct color. I might have missed a color here and there, but like that one, for example, it's not completely colored up. Let's do that. You think you're done? There we go. Alright, now we're done, I think. Alright, guys, I think we've done with the ship. You can see it's now completely colored in the yellow and the white. And it does look pretty fancy, I would say. I'm pretty happy with this, with the result. Everything merged pretty okay together. We now have a decent ship that can both jump, collect, and also do some assembling and refining if needed. I have added a Mac plate here in the front that is going to be serving as the grabber for when we do a courier mission in the future. Who knows? We're going to have to check how far we can jump once we have the 3rd jump drive enabled. But what I want to do right now, I just want to fly into the safe zone, repair the ship for some of the blocks that I have not finished yet, for example, the reactor and the batteries, and then we can call it here for this episode. I am pretty happy with the result of this ship. It does look pretty okay. And it should be my ship for the future endeavors right now when we are doing some more salvage missions. I kept my jackdaw colored in yellow, blue for the moment. We might change it, but maybe off stream. For the moment, we're just gonna leave it as it is. We are currently at 62% of hydrogen, and I think my hydrogen engines are still working. So my batteries are busy with recharging. If I can find some uranium ingots, that would be great, definitely for improving the jump range and speed of recharging. But let's see, how much does it cost to repair the current state of this ship? So let's see. Repair. Heavy. This is going to cost me 2.2 million, which is not too cheap, but we're going to have 2 extra reactors, so that's not bad. Yes, please. Jackdaw. Is there anything broken? It is some stuff broken on the Jackdaw, so let's repair that as well while we're at it. There we go. So now the ship is completely repaired and ready to be used. If we look at the back room, you will now see we have our reactors all enabled. We got some extra batteries as well. I do see that these batteries have not been painted yet, so I cannot paint in a station, so we'll have to wait for that. And even that one needs to be changed in color. All right, I am pretty happy with the result. I think we're going to call it here for today. This is going to be the building episode of an economy run, but this should allow us now to do some more work. I think next thing we're going to do is build that jump drive in there, and I would like to see how much it costs to repair a complete jump drive that I do not have access to. We could probably try to craft most of this and build it, like the computers, the steel plates, the power cells, metal grids, all that we probably can make, and then see if it makes a difference and how much it costs for crafting superconductors. We need 1,000 superconductors, so that's not going to be very cheap, I think. But that's going to be for next time. I appreciate you all. Thanks so much all for jumping in today and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. You can see now we have our ship in the background, pretty ready for the next upcoming missions. Let's see where this will take us in the future. But now that we have everything, that also means I do not need to stick around this station anymore. We could jump towards another station near, for example, a moon, or maybe somewhere deep space, so we do no longer have any planetary missions anymore. Who knows? Anyway, this is going to be it for today. Thanks so much all for joining. Appreciate you all being here. Have a good one all. Bye-bye for now.